In The Wizard of Oz, there's the famous scene where Dorothy and her friends finally see the wizard, and they come in and there's smoke and there's billowing and there's fire, and then they find that the wizard is actually behind the curtain and it's just a plain old guy. But he needed the smoke and the fire and the power to make people think he was something. Well, the exact opposite thing happens in Exodus chapter 19. It's in the Bible where God's about to give them the Ten Commandments. He's about to unveil his laws and his principles to the people. And it says in chapter 19, verses 18 and 19, it says Mount Sinai, where this is happening, was covered with smoke because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled violently. And it says there's this sound like a trumpet that just keeps getting louder and louder. And all this stuff is going on not to disguise God from the people, but so the people will recognize who God truly is. In other words, they were of a mind that God needed to be impressive and huge and scary for them to believe him. Now, a number of centuries later, on the same mountain, somebody else shows up, and it's just one guy this time. His name's Elijah, and Elijah is discouraged. Elijah is actually depressed. He's had a huge win, but now he's discouraged because things just aren't going the way he thinks they should. And he comes to the mountain and he is depressed, this exact same mountain. And God leads him to this mountain. And as Elijah is in this cave, it says a great and powerful wind. This is 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 11. Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountain apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And then it says, and after the fire came a gentle whisper. This year, you may need God to speak into your life. But don't be waiting for earthquakes and lightning and fire and power. Listen for the whisper. Because when we're discouraged, what we need is the whisper of God. When we're moving with him, what is best for us is the whisper of God. When we're in our day-to-day lives trying to decide left or right, up or down, what we need is the whisper of God. So this year, make it a point. Don't wait for God to do something spectacular in your life for you to move and follow him. Listen, listen, listen for the whisper. And that's today's Jumpstart.